The morning sun spilled across the quiet suburban street, painting the rows of palm trees in soft golden light. A sleek white sign stood planted at the curb. Open house today, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Behind it, a sprawling modern home gleamed with fresh paint, wide glass windows, and a manicured lawn. Inside, Richard Hale straightened his tie in the hallway mirror. Tall, sharp-jawed, and dressed in an expensive suit, he exuded confidence. But beneath that polish simmered impatience. He tapped his watch. Almost 10. People should start rolling in soon, he muttered. Claire Reynolds, his younger colleague, adjusted a vase of flowers on the marble counter. Yeah, hopefully. It's a beautiful listing. This should move fast. Richard smirked. $2 million. Not everyone can walk in here and afford it, Claire. That's why we have to be selective. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. Because here we tell real-life lessons through real and relatable stories. She frowned. Selective? It's an open house. Anyone can come look. He shrugged, his eyes gleaming with quiet arrogance. And waste our time? I don't think so. Claire shook her head but said nothing more. She was used to Richard's sharp opinions, though today they grated on her nerves more than usual. As the clock struck 10, the sound of sneakers scuffing against pavement echoed outside. A man in athletic gear jogged up the walkway, slowing to a stop when he spotted the open sign. He wiped sweat from his brow, studying the house with genuine admiration before stepping toward the door. "Morning," he said, his tone friendly as he crossed the threshold. "I was out jogging and saw the sign. Thought I'd take a look. This place is beautiful." Claire smiled warmly. "Good morning. Welcome in. Please make yourself at home. Are you looking to buy in the area?" "Possibly," the man replied, his eyes roaming the open layout. "I like the design. The light, the space, it's stunning." Before Claire could say more, Richard's footsteps clicked against the hardwood as he strode over, his smile tight. He sized the jogger up in one quick glance. Dark skin, plain running clothes damp with sweat, no expensive watch or car keys dangling in sight. His mind made its judgment instantly. "What are you doing here?" Richard asked bluntly. The jogger blinked, caught off guard. "Like I said, I saw your sign. Just wanted to look around." Richard's voice sharpened. "This is a $2 million home. Do you live in the neighborhood?" "Yes," the man answered evenly. "Just a few streets over." Claire jumped in quickly. "Why don't I show you the kitchen? It has imported countertops and—" Richard held up a hand to stop her. His eyes stayed locked on the jogger. "Be honest with me. Do you really think this is the house for you? Because I don't." The jogger's smile faltered. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," Richard said, lowering his voice, though the disdain still dripped from each word. "People don't just jog into homes like this unless they're curious. Or nosy. Or worse." Claire stiffened. "Richard, come on. That's out of line." But Richard pressed on, ignoring her. "Look, buddy. We don't have time for games. This isn't the right place for you. Why don't you head out before I have to ask again?" The jogger's chest rose and fell, his calm composure holding despite the insult. "It's an open house. Anyone is welcome. Unless you're saying I'm not welcome because of how I look." Richard smirked. "Don't twist my words. I'm saying you don't belong in a house like this. There's a difference." The jogger's expression hardened. "No, there isn't." Claire stepped between them, her voice firm. "That's enough. He's a potential buyer, Richard. And even if he wasn't, we don't turn people away." Richard's jaw clenched. "If he refuses to leave, he's trespassing. Maybe I should call the authorities." The jogger's stomach sank. "Call the authorities? For what?" "For walking into an open house." Richard crossed his arms. "For refusing to respect when I ask you to go. Simple as that." Silence thickened the room. Claire's face flushed with anger, but the jogger broke it first. His voice was low, steady, but heavy with pain. "My grandparents lived through this. Being told they didn't belong. Being treated like criminals just for existing. I never thought I'd face it myself, not like this, not in this century. But here we are." Richard rolled his eyes. "Spare me the history lesson. This house isn't for you. Goodbye." The jogger shook his head slowly, his voice soft but resolute. "You don't even know who I am." He turned and walked out, the slam of the door echoing in the tense silence left behind. Claire exhaled sharply, glaring at Richard. "Do you realize what you just did?" He was polite. He was interested. "You embarrassed yourself, not him." Richard scoffed, waving a dismissive hand. "He wasn't a buyer, Claire. He was wasting our time." Trust me, I can smell it a mile away. Before she could argue, his phone buzzed. He snatched it up, irritation etched across his face. What now? His voice rose as he answered. Eugene, I told you, she's not getting another dime out of me. My ex-wife can take me to court all she wants, but she's not squeezing me dry. I'll stop by your office tomorrow. Goodbye. He ended the call with a growl, his face flushed with anger. That woman is a parasite. Claire folded her arms. Maybe if you treated people with more respect, your life wouldn't feel like a war zone. Richard turned sharply toward her, ready to snap back, but his voice caught in his throat. He staggered, clutching his chest, his face draining of color. What's happening? His words slurred, his knees buckling. My chest, Claire, I think it's... Her eyes widened in horror. Richard. Oh my God, are you having a heart attack? He collapsed onto the polished floor, groaning in pain. Claire's hands fumbled for her phone. Help. Somebody help. Please. The sound of hurried footsteps echoed from the doorway. The jogger had returned, drawn by the commotion. What happened? He asked, his eyes darting from Claire to Richard's writhing body. He collapsed. I think it's his heart. Without hesitation, the jogger knelt beside Richard, his hands moving with practiced urgency. Call 911. Now. Claire's voice trembled as she spoke into the phone. Yes, my colleague is having a heart attack. Please, we need an ambulance at 2507 Palm Avenue. Hurry. The jogger pressed firmly on Richard's chest, beginning CPR. His voice was calm, steady. Stay with me. Breathe. Don't you give up. Richard's gasps faltered, his body trembling under the pressure of the compressions. Claire watched in shock as the man Richard had humiliated minutes earlier fought to keep him alive. The ambulance arrived within minutes, rushing Richard away under the jogger's watchful eye. The next day, a sterile hospital room hummed softly with machines. Richard stirred, blinking awake. His chest felt heavy, his throat dry. Beside his bed stood the same jogger, now dressed in clean scrubs, a stethoscope around his neck. Richard's eyes widened in disbelief. What are you doing here? The man's expression was calm, though his eyes carried a weight Richard couldn't ignore. I'm Dr. Daniel Brooks. I was the one who performed CPR when you collapsed. I was also the surgeon who operated on you last night. You're alive because I didn't walk away. Richard's mouth went dry. Shame burned across his face. You're a doctor? Dr. Brooks gave a small, weary smile. Yes, the man you dismissed. The one you said didn't belong. Richard's voice cracked. I'm sorry. I didn't know. If I'd known you were a doctor. Dr. Brooks shook his head gently. That's the problem. You saw what you wanted to see. And you decided I didn't belong. You didn't know me, but you judged me. That nearly cost you your life. Richard's eyes dropped, his voice no more than a whisper. I was wrong. Dr. Brooks nodded, stepping back. Rest. You'll need time to recover. As he turned to leave, Claire entered, her expression brightening. Doctor, thank you again for everything. I can't believe you saved his life and performed the surgery. Dr. Brooks gave her a kind smile. Just doing my job. And actually, I made an offer on the house next door. It just hit the market. I'll be moving in soon. Claire's eyes lit up. Congratulations. That's wonderful news. Richard looked up, his face pale with disbelief. You bought the house next door? Dr. Brooks smiled softly. Yes. A beautiful 5-bedroom with a pool. Right on the water. His eyes lingered on Richard for just a moment longer. Looks like I do belong here after all. With that, he walked out, leaving Richard to his silence. Claire crossed her arms, turning to Richard. You should have treated him with kindness. Instead, you showed arrogance, and lost a buyer, a neighbor, and your dignity in one day. Maybe think about that. Her phone buzzed. She answered, her voice bright. Hello? Oh, hi. You were referred by Dr. Brooks? Wonderful. I'd love to show you some listings this Friday. Yes, I have the perfect home for you. Richard closed his eyes, the weight of regret pressing harder than any pain in his chest. Judging people by appearances can blind us to their true worth. Respect and kindness should never be reserved for status or looks, because the very person you dismiss today might be the one who saves your life tomorrow. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out our other videos for more inspiring life lessons.